Sister. I'm Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are talking about Happy Death Day to You. That's the number 2. I forgot the word number for a minute. That's the number 2 and the letter U. This is the sequel to A Happy Death Day. You might have already guessed. Our listeners are cream of the crop. They're the smartest of the bunch. So yeah, they heard Happy Death Day to You and they were like, little gears started clicking. Yeah, this one's also really fun. I liked this one a lot as well. We get more character development and also more like slapstick comedy. And this movie's Wikipedia page is practically empty, and I hate that. I hate that.
So not a ton of fun stuff to talk about, but there are a couple things. It came out in 2019. This one's going to be a downer. This isn't a fun fact. This is kind of a sad fact.
Okay, great. Yeah, set the tone.
So this was supposed to come out on Valentine's Day of 2019. However, that was a year after a school shooting, and I'm not really sure which one.
Well, there's so many.
Yeah, I can tell you the exact one. Stoneman Douglas High School. And it was supposed to come out exactly 1 year after that shooting. And one of the fathers had requested that it didn't come out on the same day because of basically its name, I think.
Oh, Happy Death Day.
Yeah. So they released it a day early.
Okay. So wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
The way you said that, it was supposed to come out a year to the day, but like unrelated. They weren't like, let's release this movie on the anniversary.
No. I don't think so. I mean, I think that the director seems like I don't know. I feel like a good person.
Yeah,
I mean, it pushes morality sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes in the movie. Yeah. So I guess
I don't see why
they respected it pretty quickly.
Like, there's nothing in the movie where you would be like, yeah, let's tie this back to a school shooting.
Yeah, they did not. They didn't do that. Okay. But I can understand.
And was the dad involved in the movie at all? Or?
I don't think he was. So I thought he was for a second, and then I had to go look him up, and he's just an activist. I'm going to go read some things to make sure that that's accurate. Spoke at a Senate hearing. He was at the hearing for Brett Kavanaugh.
Ew.
He said that Kavanaugh's response was less than genuine. He met Ted Cruz and Alyssa Milano to discuss gun violence, and it was a really important day. That's a weird combination of people in the same room? Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't say anything in his Wikipedia about asking them to change it. I'm sure it was just like, I don't have a good explanation for it. Where did I read this?
Did you make this up? Did you dream this?
I've had some weird dreams lately. No. Okay. No, that's not it.
More spreadsheets?
Oh, yeah. I did make it. Yeah, I made a couple other spreadsheets this weekend.
No, I meant in your dreams.
No. Oh, okay. No, I do it in my free time, too. So these were fun spreadsheets. So they made happy dreams.
Oh, good.
Maybe that's my way of combating it, is like I've started making happy spreadsheets. So if they show up in my dreams, they're not like trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to find the fun fact because now I'm super worried that I'm lying to everyone.
It's okay. It's fine.
Our fact checker come up with that name?
We'll catch it.
Okay. What? Where? Okay. I clicked through. How did I click through to it? How does one click through to another thing if it wasn't in the thing? Okay, release. Here we go. Happy Death Day to You was released on February 13th, 2019. It originally had been scheduled to release 1 day later on Valentine's Day. However, the film was rescheduled after a request from Fred Guttenberg, whose daughter Jamie was a victim in the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, which took place exactly 1 year prior. That's it. That's all it says. And there's nothing on his about it. So I guess he just asked for it. And they were like, yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
But how, if they were to not release it on a day that had a school shooting?
Right, like,
can you do that? Is that possible? Like, is there a day in the year that didn't have Christmas? Nope, that's not a day of school. So it's nice that the director and the writer and the makers of the movie were respectful. I appreciate that. I appreciate the respect and listening to victims.
And this was the same writer-director as the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
I was supposed to be like, no. Yeah, I'm 99% sure. Same guy that did Freaky. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Same.
Okay. It felt exactly the same. So I would have been
It would have been
surprised
weird
if it was somebody else. Yeah. Yeah, still super fun, still super lighthearted. This one picks up right at the end of the first movie, like exact same day. So okay.
We're just jumping into it.
We're already
Let's just jump into
complicated.
it.
Yeah, no, I was lamenting the fact that saying it's the exact same day. Not the same day that the bulk of the first movie was. Like it's Tuesday now. Most of the first movie was Monday.
Monday.
Today is Tuesday for a little while. So,
Yes.
okay. All right. Yeah, so this is picking up right where we left off, but we are with Ryan this time. You remember Ryan. Fine vagina.
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
Yeah.
I was about to call it Vajaj, which was not. The rad Vajaj? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, no, I didn't care for that. Vajaj?
I'm sorry.
It's just not a good sound.
I agree.
Like it's not even it's not, you know what I mean? It's
What
just
is
that
it when
sound.
you bedazzle stuff? Vajazzle. That's when you bedazzle the fine vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought of vajazzle, so I thought vajat.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't make sense. It wasn't smart. It wasn't good. I'm sorry, listeners.
No, it was great. I'm glad that you went for it. Yeah, so he's waking up. He was sleeping in his car, right? To give Carter and the fine vagina tree time alone in the dorm room. So yeah, he's waking up. He wanders back into the dorm, and we learn pretty quickly that he is a science major, specifically quantum physics. Like he goes to the lab, and the camera zooms in on the quantum physics sign, and I was like, "Are you telling me fucking nerds did this?" And yeah, they are telling you that it's fucking nerds who caused this time loop for Tree.
Isn't it always?
It's always fucking
It's always the
nerds.
nerds.
And I'm allowed to say this. I'm a computer science computer scientist. And when he gets to the lab, we meet two new characters. We've got Dre. She's a little cutie patootie, short curls. She reminded me of Real Genius in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she looks like some characters in Real Genius. We've got nerds and fiascos and science and mean school officials. This whole movie gives some Real Genius. And then the other nerd we've got here is a guy named Samar. He's obsessed with women, and he is Revenge of the Nerds. You know, like if Dre is Real
Oh.
Genius, he's Revenge of the Nerds. And that's, you know, that one
That
didn't
checks
age
out.
well. And they have been like building this giant contraption in their lab, and there was a surge of activity last night at like 12:01 in the morning. And while they're investigating that, the dean storms in, and he's mad that they have been spending all this money on building this contraption, and it's like what's causing the lights to flicker on campus. And he's pissed that this is like not earning them any money. He's like, you need to be submitting patents or whatever. Like he's just clout chasing, and he says that they have to shut it down. They have until tomorrow to shut it down. And at this point I was like, oh, are they going to like put on a dance benefit for the community? Like this is like every like early aughts movie. Like this is Honey. That's not what happens, unfortunately. So Ryan's leaving the lab, and he gets lured by somebody. It's Babyface. He gets lured by Babyface, who's like creepily texting him photos of Ryan from like down the hall or whatever. And so he follows the photos, and he gets stabbed and killed by Babyface. And then he wakes up the next morning. But it's the same day. It's the same day. We've got another time loop on our hands. He's back out in his car, and he goes to his dorm room, and he tells Tree and Carter that he's like experiencing hella deja vu, and they get it immediately. They're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we've got another fucking time loop.
He was more curious on that first day than Tree was. Like he actually like could feel it from almost the first moment. Like a dog barked at him, and he was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is too familiar. And then he started like, I mean, science guy doing like experiments to see if the same things were going to happen to him as he walked through. So really impressive. Tree took a while, but Ryan was immediate. Like, oh, this is the same day.
Yeah, he's still a little skeptical though, right? Like
Yeah.
when he tells Tree and Carter, they're like, okay, bad news, you're stuck in a time loop. And he's like, oh, I'm dreaming. It's a dream.
Well, he
So
said it was Inception, so he
yeah.
could have super scienced that as well. Somebody else. Would that mean Tree and Carter were the Inceptioners? What did they call them?
I don't know. That movie came
Sleep
out a trillion
Warriors?
years ago. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So Tree and Carter, though, are like, okay, you're stuck in a time loop again, and you got murdered by Babyface. Who's Babyface? Like, Toombs, the serial killer, and Lori are both dead. So, like, who is it this time? And Tree also realizes pretty quick that it's Ryan and his dorky friends who caused this. They're like, what the fuck do you mean you have a giant contraption that manipulates time? Why do you have that? And do you remember what this contraption was supposed to do? Because it's not time loops. It wasn't supposed to make time loops.
Was it supposed to do something?
It was. They explained it at some point, and
It's supposed to speed something up backwards.
Sure. But they named it Sisyphus. They call it Sissy for short. And that's like, that's a time loop name.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they had high hopes.
Well, we're so, you know, same situation as the first one. Ryan is going to be hunted by Babyface and killed, and the day will get reset. Fortunately, on this day, Tree and Carter are able to save Ryan. Right as he's about to be killed, they intercept, and when they take the mask off of Babyface, it's another Ryan. They did the thing. They did the thing that we kept expecting in the first one. They rip off the mask. Yeah. It's Ryan, and other Ryan is knocked out for a moment. That's how they intercepted him. But when he wakes up, he explains that he got knocked into a parallel dimension, and he is here to stop our Ryan from activating the dang machine because he's about to make things like a gazillion times worse. And Ryan is like, no, I can fix it. So he goes to activate the machine. And we have this like beautiful explosion scene. Like,
oh yeah,
Sissy emits what looks like an electromagnetic field, and everybody is gathered around the machine, and they are all being like thrown across the room, and there's beautiful classical music playing. It's in slow motion, and we're like getting very detailed like 360 views of people flying across the room, including what's his name? Samar?
His Yoo-hoo bottle? Is that
his Yoo-hoo bottle.
It was beautiful.
It was so beautiful. And then Tree wakes up in Carter's bed on her birthday. No! She's back in the time loop, and she is so mad. She is pissed. And I, like, yeah.
This is a great.
Yeah. She, like, screams into the pillow, tries to maintain her composure, but is, like, swearing. I would be so fucking mad. Yep. So she, like, grabs Carter and Ryan, and she's like, Ryan, this is your fucking fault. Follow me. We have to figure this out. Like, you have to solve this. You got me into this. You have to solve it. And we go about her day like we did in the first one. But there are these tiny little differences. Like, she gets to the sorority house and her bitchy sister doesn't attack her right as she walks in. And Lori hasn't made her a cupcake for her birthday. And the worst difference of the whole thing is we find out that the bitchy sister is dating Carter. And this sucks so fucking much. I hated this. The bitchy sister is like nicer in this dimension.
Is she? I mean, I get, yeah, she does do things that are,
she's not.
Yeah, she is. She's not as bad. Yeah, okay, that's valid.
No,
but she is, at least on the surface, nicer.
Yeah, she's like
for sure.
less outwardly mean. But yeah, she's going to do some shitty stuff in this. And straight away, she like sits down and like at the lunch table with our gang, and she pretends to be blind for a moment and asks if it looked real, because she intends to audition in the theater to play Anne Frank. And she's like, "Did you know Anne Frank was both deaf and blind?" And Carter is like, "That's Helen Keller." And she just shrugs, like she doesn't. Oh my god! So she's
I
pretty
do
dumb in
appreciate
this
that
one,
they
too.
did she did a deaf joke in the first one.
I know.
Now a
Yeah.
blind joke in the second one. At least it's continuing on with that. What would the
Yeah.
next one be?
Oh, that she can't speak, I guess.
Hmm.
Then we'll do
Hear no evil, see no evil,
Mhm,
speak
yeah.
no evil. That'd be okay.
Yeah, she does do something notably bad in this one as well. She calls Samar Samosa.
Mm-hmm.
Just some light racism coming out of Little Miss Bitchy Sorority Sister Danielle. Her name is Danielle.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to remember it, and I was like remembering a lot of names, but I didn't feel right about any of them. That wasn't
Yeah.
the name I was thinking. But he did say, "Oh, does she like samosas?"
Yeah.
So he
'cause-
took it well, but yeah.
Well, it's
no,
because
terrible.
his character is like desperate. He's Revenge of the Nerds, like just desperately
Yeah.
wants attention from a woman in like a incel way, not in a healthy way. Like he's gonna get radicalized, you know?
Yeah, quite possibly. Or he's gonna get with
Dre.
Real Genius.
Yeah, real genius.
That'd be cute. I'm into that.
So cute. Yeah.
or
she
maybe not. She might.
keeps him in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna be a duo.
Oh, spinoff?
Or the third movie.
Oh, third movie.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think we're gonna do with that one?
Well, it has a working title.
Is it Bitchy Sister Gets Time Looped?
How did you know? It is Happy Death Day to Us.
Oh.
Yeah, and after Happy Death Day 2 You came out and it didn't do well at the box office, they
Ah.
shut down
No.
any idea of this. But then the writer still wrote a script for it, and then they dropped it. But then recently they said that they've been willing to pick it up. I think in 2020, late 2020 and September 2020, they said that it's just waiting for approval from Universal. So you guys, we
Yeah.
need to get a bunch of hype behind this movie because we need the third one to be made. We
Let's
need
start a
it.
campaign.
We need it.
Oh, I want it.
Yeah, so
Um,
bad.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Okay. Something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just had this like awkward moment with Danielle, the bitchy sister, and Tree remembers that it's her birthday. She's got to go meet her dad for birthday lunch. So she goes.
Did you just say that exactly like the ringtone? It's your
Not
birthday.
intentionally. Speaking of Inception, yeah. So she goes to the same restaurant. Her dad's sitting there, just like always. But guess who else walks in? It's her motherfucking mom, or I guess
Well,
her
just her mother.
father fucking mom.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. So she is alive, and I mean, you might have guessed that she's not like her corpse didn't walk in. Like she is alive in this dimension, and this was like so emotional. And Tree is so happy to see her, and like shocked, and immediately decides like I don't want Ryan to fix this. Like she wanted him to send her back to her dimension, but now she's like no, like leave me
Yeah.
here. I get my mom back. And so, you know, after birthday dinner, she goes back, or birthday lunch, she goes back to her sorority house like she always does, and the lights flicker like they always do. And she sees on the news that Toombs, the serial killer, is in the hospital in this dimension too. And so she picks up and goes to the hospital to prevent his escape. And she runs into Lori. And Lori's not evil in this one. It wasn't Lori who released Toombs in this one. And in fact, Lori like swoops in at just the right time and like saves Tree from Babyface by like scooping her into the elevator. And we learned that it wasn't even Toombs in the Babyface mask. Like Lori just took Toombs to
Oh.
the OR for surgery. So like, who's this? We've got somebody else on our hands. And they are trying to escape, stay hidden from Babyface. And
You're much quicker than me because I definitely thought it was still Toombs.
I went back and forth on it later
That makes me feel better.
because like later Toombs is in the Babyface mask.
Yeah. Okay.
But there are
But it makes sense. They did take him down. Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter which one this was. Lori, not bad. Guy in Babyface mask, bad.
Bad, for sure.
And they get out of the elevator on like the spookiest floor. For some reason, there's a weird construction floor in the hospital. And, you know, none of the lights work. It's all flickery and dark. And they are, you know, sneaking through, creepy crawling. And slowly, Lori turns around. She got stabbed silently. She turns around, knife in belly, blood out of her mouth. And this was like, is this the most graphic kill of both of these movies? I mean, depicted on screen.
Yeah, like how I'm trying to.
Like there are plenty of like
like
more
you
deaths.
know what's going on.
Yeah,
but you don't
like
see
there's a
it.
wood chipper in this one, you know.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it might be. I'm trying to remember all the deaths from. Are you talking about just this movie or this and the?
No,
first?
I'm thinking of both of them. Like this is the first. This is the only one I can think of where like you watch somebody die on screen.
She shoots Toombs, but he doesn't. It's not that graphic. Yeah, I think you might be right. This might be the one that's at least the most.
This is the most like up close murder.
Yeah, and realistic. There's one later that happens that there's more blood, but
oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
But that was a good one.
yeah.
But this one, I felt sad. I don't know. I just hated her so bad at the end of the last movie. But then when it turned out she was good in this movie, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, she gets a second chance in this one.
I wanted to root for her.
Yeah, so Tree jumps off the roof to reset the day rather than letting Babyface kill her. And, you know, it's usual birthday morning, but this day is very pivotal. This is a big scene. She changes clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for her. And so she is still trying to get Ryan to close the loop so that she can live more than just the day, but she doesn't want to be sent back. And the nerds are like, that could take weeks. Like, we've been working on this project for so long. That could take weeks, but every day gets reset. Like, how are we supposed to do that? And Carter suggests, well, Tree, you have your memory every day. You have to memorize the science. You have to just do some casual quantum physics that you've never studied. No worries. And so that's what they agree to do. She's going to study with the nerds and learn their science. And she's upset. She's like, I don't want to have to like run from this murderer every day and be murdered every day. And the nerds are like, I mean, you could just kill yourself to reset the day on your own terms. And my immediate thought was like, okay, what's the best way for us to do that imposes the least amount of damage? Because we learned in the first one, she grows weaker with every death. That is not what they do in the movie. They went the funny route, and I appreciated that.
They did.
So it's like blow dryer in the bathtub, and she wakes up with big poofy hair, and Drano in the store, which was so funny. She like cheers, like a guy sees her in the aisle opening the Drano, and she just like holds it up, bottoms up, tip of the hat to the guy. There's a wood chipper, and every day she's like mostly studying with the nerds and taking these small breaks where she sees stuff happening around campus. So she notices the shitty douchebag professor that she was having an affair with in the first one, fighting with his wife. And she also keeps seeing Carter and the bitchy sister making out on a park bench outside of the lab. And she's just getting angrier and angrier and angrier every time she has to see this. And so one of her suicides is skydiving. She skydives in a bikini right in front of them. So they're like casually making out. And then she plummets to her death right in front of them, both middle fingers up. Is this the one you were talking about?
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. I was like, that was close, but you don't see the body. You just see the blood splash up on him.
Yeah, it's just like comical amounts of blood, and then Carter and Danielle screaming and freaking out.
That was good. That was probably my favorite one.
Yeah, this like death montage was a lot of fun.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that these are each different timelines that continued on after the day reset for her? So are Carter and Danielle just completely traumatized?
Oh. I don't.
Man, I need a real downer today. Damn. Damn. I didn't think about it until just then. I was like, oh, they're going to be traumatized. And I was like, oh, the day resets. It's fine. And I was like, wait, are all of these timelines?
Right. Do they keep going? I don't know. I don't know. There is a scene at the closer to the beginning when she's first telling Ryan and Carter what's happening, and Ryan explains that there are only 6 dimensions. But that, I guess, I don't understand how the multiverse plus time loops.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. I am glad that they did a multiverse. They did well.
Yeah.
Did they? Yeah, they did fine.
They did fine. They did fine.
They did fine.
Oh, they did do the like pen through a piece of paper trick that we did in Event Horizon. He like folds up a napkin, sticks a pen through it, and is like, "There's 6. You woke up. You went to bed here, and you woke up over here." I don't know. I don't. Blah 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 is what I hear. I don't know. Just static. But yeah, so Tree is for sure getting weaker with all of these deaths. What is the least damaging one?
I was trying to think about that, and I was like, drowning, but she did like when she woke up, when she did drown, she like had a bunch of water come out of her. Yeah. So I guess her lungs would have issues.
Maybe like hypothermia? Oh, but then like what if you lose fingers?
Yeah. Definitely not fire.
No. She does that one a couple times. She did do that
once.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about... Yeah, I don't know.
Any scientists out there want to tell us the least damaging way to die?
We would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Maybe don't. I don't know. I don't know if that's something you want to share.
I mean, we won't publicize. I don't know. I just want to know, like, if I'm ever in a time loop where I have to die in order to reset the day, but I get damaged permanently, like, how do I manage that situation?
A parasite? No, because that would destroy your insides, right?
Oh no, I don't want to do a parasite. What if I accidentally create zombies? I'm already stuck in a time loop.
That's a good point. Maybe we should watch 1,000 Ways to Die, and then that show gives me a lot of anxiety. So
this is true.
And House. House also gives me a lot of anxiety.
The Doctor Show?
I'm trying to think of all the weird ways that people have died that don't make sense. It's like, yeah, this person went swimming in the swimming hole and they got this one thing, but it attached to the inside of their toe, so nobody found it until it was too late. This is where all my anxiety comes from. Not all of it, probably like a fifth of it. It shows like that. My brother always is like, watch 1,000 Ways to Die, and I'm like, no. As a hypochondriac, that's the meanest thing you could say to me. Please don't. I already have a problem drinking out of glass items.
What? Why? Oh, because it might break?
No, because I always think I'm drinking glass or I've eaten glass. I'm constantly afraid of consuming glass. So if I went to a bar the other day and got a drink and the glass was chipped at the top. Yeah. So then I just kind of stared at it for a long time. Yeah. And then had to drink it out of a straw and bite down on the straw as I was drinking it, you know?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the neurotic things I do. I mean, I guess you could drink a tiny piece of glass and that would kill you. It won't, but I'm very afraid of it for some reason.
So maybe you do need a time loop where you have to die every day, like exposure therapy.
So then I can get over... Oh, okay, perfect. Let's do it.
Okay.
But what if I don't? But what if I prove to myself I don't? Oh, okay. So just anytime I die, I come back, and then I have to come back on that day. So if I don't die, if I swallow some glass. I don't want to do that.
I think that that's okay. I think we can probably pretty easily avoid that.
A deal. Okay. Sounds great.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, she's getting weaker and like grunting in pain more and like limping around. And one of these mornings, she wakes up in Carter's room and he's like, "You don't look so hot." And she passes out and he takes her to the hospital. And it's like that scene in the first movie. Like, she wakes up in the hospital. She's immediately like, "Oh my God, what day is it? What time is it?" She knows that Toombs, the murderer, is going to get out soon and start killing people. So she, lies to the doctor to get him to go away so that she can sneak out of her room. She knocks out the cop who's guarding Toombs again. She takes his gun again. And this time she finds Laurie already dead, which is a huge bummer. And she shoots Babyface, who's like standing over her, and takes off his mask, and it is Toombs. This is where it is the serial killer. And while she's like lamenting Laurie's death, another Babyface appears behind her. Who's the secondo? Who's secondo? He like grabs her and is restraining her, but there are some like conveniently placed tanks full of flammable gas here in the room. So she shoots at that, killing them both in a fiery blaze, so that he, fuck you.
Yep.
If I have to die today,
You're coming with me.
yeah. And also, I'm not going to let you be in control of the situation. I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the next day, which is the same day, I just want to be clear. Do you all know?
It's always the same
day. It's the same day. Let me start over at the top of the movie. It's the same day. And we finally see her doing science in front of the nerds. She like gets up, there's a whiteboard, is the whole shebang. She like knocks out all these crazy equations with like arrows, and she's like circling things and underlining them, and they're just watching like mouths agape. And they all get up to study it. And I found this very perplexing. They were like, "Well, these are all the things we've already tried. That means there's only one possibility left."
Yeah, that seems
sure?
unlikely. Unless she had like a pre-thought of all of the possible things. And was like,
y'all
we
seen a
crossed
lot of
out
time
all
loops?
of these. Normally, if that was the case, you would just bring the ones that they had left and be like, "These are the only options. Everything you guys have thought about, these three are the only ones we have left." So
Right, yeah, exactly. Like, you wouldn't have to,
go
if you
through
have a
it.
list that you're eliminating, you don't have to memorize the ones. Okay, yeah.
Just the ones that are left. Yeah.
Yeah, this is goofy. But everybody is so pumped. They like go over to the computer and like enter a few things, and they're like, it worked. like we're so excited. But one of them, like, you hear it. This is just a throwaway line. It's like in the background. One of them says, "Why are we so excited? We don't even know her." And Ryan approaches Tree. He's like, "This is decision time. Like, you either need to go back and we close the loop, or you stay here and we close the loop." And she decides to stay. Like, yeah, she's leaving her Carter behind, but she's really only known him one day, And
Yeah.
her mom's alive in this one. And in addition to that, there is like a
Still some
spark
chemistry
between her,
Yeah.
and this
other
Carter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so part of her is like, well, maybe I can still have both. Like, I can have my mom and the cute boy. Okay. And as they are about to like close the loop, keep her here, the machine fails because there's a virus from porn on their lab computer.
Yeah.
Because because Revenge of the Nerds was looking at porn in the lab again.
Yep.
And Ryan, this part was also perplexing to me. They're like, "How long will it take to fix?" And Ryan's like,
6 hours?
"I got to manually re-enter all this code." And I was like, that is just simply not how it works. That is not how it works. But since we're talking about it, quick PSA, make sure that you always push your changes to GitHub. This is not enough to commit it on your local computer. You got to push it to the remote server, and also make sure to back up your computer. Don't be like me. I recently lost a computer and I lost a bunch of work because I'm stupid. So now I have to manually re-enter all that code.
So you said it's not normal, and then now you're in his shoes.
No, I mean, losing stuff to a computer is very normal, but saying I have to manually re-enter all this code,
yeah,
like that implies that he has the code like printed out and he's like gonna re-enter. Like that's fine. That's fine. You know what? We're talking about dimensions and time loops. This is a dumb thing for me to take umbrage with. Yeah, so he's like, it's going to take so many hours, so we're not going to get there. Like, we're not going to reset the loop, or I guess close the loop until later tonight. And so Tree goes off to leave, and Carter follows and confronts her about her decision to stay in this dimension. He's like, people are going to die if we close the loop like this. And she's like, people die every day. And he's like, that's a very selfish way to look at things. And also, like, this isn't your life. This is somebody else's life. You are taking somebody's life. like not in a murder way. You're stealing somebody's life. You're committing identity theft. Aw, Carter's a good guy in every dimension. Oh, well, sweetie. Yeah, so he's fighting for the right thing. Yeah, so she storms off and meets up with her parents for lunch, like she always does on her birthday. And she tells them that they need to get away as far away from campus as they can. And they're like freaked out by that, but trust her. And so they start driving and they end up staying in a hotel. And this was funny to me. She's like, we need to get away. We need to get as far away from campus as possible. And they stay in a hotel just outside the town. Like they go to Bayside High. So
they went to where Saved by the Bell was.
Yeah, exactly. They grabbed lunch at Max's and did a music video. My Saved by the Bell knowledge is not very extensive.
Both of those things happen, so
yeah, so they like are on the edge of town and the sun is down. And this like the timeline here.
It's gonna be a
fine
big
with
town.
Repeating the day, but this does not make sense to
lunch
me.
To being just right outside of town.
Lunch to 9:30, just outside of town.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so they get to this hotel, and Ryan is activating the machine back on campus, but Tree in the hotel is starting to like really think about what Carter was saying about how it's not right for her to be here. And so she has a conversation with her mom about like what her mom would do. Like she's basically asking her mom for advice without revealing that she's stuck in a time loop in a different dimension.
But it's like love advice and being like, how'd you know Dad was the one and that he was everything? And then she just had a really sad response. She said she would always choose her dad because then she would get Tree and she wouldn't want to be without Tree.
Yeah. And yeah, that was frustrating because Tree is like, well, I have the opposite problem. Like I can go back and have the boy or I can have you. Yeah, like that sucks. But right then on the news, we're seeing the news about the serial killer in the hospital. And turns out Carter went to the hospital looking for Tree and he was murdered. So now if Ryan closes the loop, Carter's gone forever. And Tree freaks out. She's trying to call Ryan. He's not answering the phone. And she panics. She grabs the car keys, drives, because fortunately, on our way to the hotel, on the edge of town, we did see the Bayside electric plant. So
thank God.
we see the power station. She just drives into it. She drives right into it. It explodes, cuts out the power in town, which she hopes is going to turn off the machine, but she doesn't know. She does like maybe the loop is already closed, like
Yeah.
she doesn't know if this is going to be effective or if she's going to die as well. And now they're both dead. Like we don't know what's going to happen. And she wakes up. She wakes up in Carter's bed.
Yeah, it's
What a
her
relief.
birthday.
And she ain't got to pick up the phone.
Exactly.
And now, knowing this, she has decided to go back to her own dimension. Like after this conversation with Carter and the conversation with her mom and like seeing how deaths can be irreversible, maybe by her choices, she decides it's time to go back. And so she basically goes on like a farewell tour. She talks to Lori and she's like, hey, I know you've been sleeping with that douchebag. You don't have to keep doing that. Like you seem stressed and unhappy about it. So you could stop. And Lori's like, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Good point.
that sounds good. I think I'll do that. And then she goes to the bitchy sister's room in the sorority house, and she is cheating on Carter with the techno
What?
guy from the first movie.
Oh, yeah. Was it the same guy? Was
I
it a
think
different
so.
actor? I think it was the same guy, but was it two different actors?
Oh, I don't know. They looked
One of
identical
them's
to me, but
buff,
all white
pale,
guys look the same
and
to me.
with brown curly hair.
Oh, I don't even remember it as curly. Yeah,
Was it curly? Was it wavy?
I guess so.
Okay. I'm not gonna get
It's
hung
textured.
up on that.
He had like a
Yeah,
shag.
for sure. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
And he is very stupid in this, which like you have to
In
be
this?
very dumb to
Just
make
in this
her
one.
Okay, fair point.
Thank you.
I just mean he's so dumb he makes her look smart.
Yeah, okay. Oh. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And then we have maybe the most emotional scene in the movie. On Tree's farewell tour, she goes to birthday lunch and she has to say goodbye to her mom. This made me cry.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
This was so sad. But her mom said something really nice. They again were talking about like love and how do you know if you've got the one. And her mom says the best kind of love changes you. It makes you a better person. Aw. Oh, that's Carter. That's her Carter. And I guess this Carter.
All Carters.
All Carters. So she goes back to the school and she's thanking the nerds for all their help. And then right then, the dean comes in and unplugs the machine and everybody's like, no, this isn't supposed to happen today. Like, this isn't supposed to happen until tomorrow. And Tree doesn't want to reset the day again because she's getting weaker every time she comes back. And like, she just died in a big fiery explosion. What if this is the last one? What if she dies for real this time? And so they hatch a plan to steal the machine back. So get ready for hijinks, y'all. We've been doing Groundhog Day. Now we're doing Mission Impossible. So.
All right.
Yeah, the plan is we've got to get the keys from the dean and get Sissy, the machine, out of his office and return the keys all before he notices that the keys are missing. And
Too easy.
Oh, yeah, easy peasy. And they convince Danielle, the bitchy sorority sister, to help form a distraction. And so she approaches the dean, who is alone, knitting, watching that cat YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
on
Was
the
it
TV.
psychic? Is he a psychic?
Oh, I don't know. I just know.
Is it a YouTube or is it like
his name is
TLC?
fake. The guy who was on screen is a cat YouTuber. His name is Jason Galaxy? Jackson Galaxy?
Whoa. Yeah, I had no idea. Also a magician?
He could be. I don't know.
I'm just going based on the name.
He's got very distinctive facial hair, which is why I recognized him.
Ooh.
And like also he was interacting with a cat on screen. That for sure helped.
Tracks. Yeah.
So yeah, Danielle comes in. She's doing her blind act. big dark glasses, the cane. But she's also peppered in a French accent
Yeah, I
for
don't know.
reasons, just for fun. She's method.
She's gonna get some practice in for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because Helen Keller was French.
Oui.
For the home listener, no, she wasn't. Yeah, so this is such a funny, this is just dumb slapstick in the middle of this movie. So she comes in and is like fumbling around, knocks over a vase,
Full of marbles.
full of marbles. And for some reason, the dean like falls to the floor and starts trying to scoop them up. And once he is finished with that, she grabs a giant tapestry on the wall and rips it from its like curtain hangings, and she falls to the floor all tangled in it. And he's shouting, "Move toward the light!" Oh, I'm sorry, that was insensitive. And once she's free, she like still needs to make the distraction go on longer, so she just hits him with her cane, like first in the leg and then while he's bent over in the face, so he gets bloody nose. And his hands are full during this whole scene, and he's saying things like, "I don't know if that cane is a great idea for you." Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And while all of this is happening, she is able to like get his keys from the side table and get them to Tree, and they get the machine out of his office, and then Tree brings the keys back and she replaces them. Hooray. And then while the nerds are like prepping it, Tree breaks off to go to the hospital to save Lori, because Ryan has to enter all of his code manually. We still have these hours, so let's save her life while we're here. And she like just blows into the hospital and shoots Babyface like very efficiently. Like, she's we don't need to plan anything, or like we've done it so many times, we can just do this casually. So back at the school, the dean like starts putting things together. He realizes that Danielle is not blind, and he goes to the office and sees that Sissy is gone. So he takes security to the physics lab, and the nerds barricade the door with a sofa that they have in the lab. And Ryan is frantically trying to re-enter all his code or whatever. And back at the hospital, we learn that it's actually the douchebag doctor who's Babyface in this one. We suspected him last time. We were just picking up vibes from this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, he's trying to kill Lori because of the affair that they've been having. And Tree put this all together because she kept seeing them, arguing back on campus. But what she didn't know, and what we didn't know, is that his wife is in on it. So his wife shows up and shoots Lori. And the douchebag attacks Tree. You know what? And this is not a bit. This is not a bit to bring this up. But the douchebag was like really reminding me of Carrie Elwes in this scene. Because it's like, I don't know, there was something about like the way it was lit.
And he was wearing all black, so it's
he was
like
wearing all black. Yeah, it was very Princess Bride. Only I wasn't rooting for him.
The haircut was pretty,
and the twinkle in his eye, it was very Carrie Elwes. Yeah, so his wife is like egging him on to kill Tree, and then he shoots his wife. He does turn on Tree. He's not like gonna save her or whatever. And then right then Carter shows up, and my number one worry was Carter. I was like, oh no, oh God, we can't be doing this, Carter. Tree made you promise to stay with the nerds, and here you are. But yeah, he was worried about her, so he came to try to help. And he does. He causes enough of a distraction that Tree is able to get away. And the doctor like chases her and then throws her through an MRI window, which seems like, shouldn't that be stronger?
For sure. I'm trying to remember everything in that scene. I remember what happens next. This one might be more graphic.
Oh, is this? I guess this is graphic.
Maybe the idea of it I found more graphic than the actual execution.
Yeah, like there's plenty of deaths in this movie. that are definitely more traumatic than that stab scene. But like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. This scene just seemed funny to me.
I mean, I was rooting for what happens, so
It's
I
so
guess it's
goofy
because you care about
Lori.
Lori at that
But
point.
like, do we?
I don't know. I was mixed because I was like, maybe she is bad. I don't know. Nature versus nurture. What's happening? Is she actually a good person? Or is she only a good person in this instance because of these things? Wow.
Oh God, that's a whole other
We'll
question.
talk about it later.
Right? Huh? I don't know. Yeah, so we're in this room with the MRI tunnel.
Yeah.
I know it's called a machine, but it's a tunnel, right?
Yeah, accurate. Yeah.
Have you ever had one?
No.
No, me either. I'd have to take my piercings out, and that sounds hard.
Or it'd take
Yeah,
them
so-
out for you.
Yeah, it could do that. We could just let it do that. She does leverage its magnetism. She flips on the machine, and a wheelchair sitting just perfectly aligned with the douchebag flings into his chest on its way to being sucked into the MRI, and that like pins him against the mouth of the machine. And Tree is holding a screwdriver that's like being yanked by the magnet, and she just lets it go, and it gets him in the tum.
Ah, yeah, the tum.
The tum. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry. That is a technical term. I don't know how many of you were pre-med like me. The tum. And the MRI tunnel. You know, PhD stuff. Yeah, so he dies. Congrats, Tree.
We done.
He did make fun of her for the screwdriver as a weapon.
Yeah.
So,
He got what he deserved.
karma.
But I mean, I feel like he's somebody that deserved it in both movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So-
for sure. He's, I guess he is worse in this one because he committed
He
murders.
murders people.
Yeah.
That's valid. I feel
Yeah.
like that's incredibly valid. Does anything happen after this? Does she wake up the next day?
Yeah, more stuff happens. So she goes back out, and Lori had been shot by douchebag's wife, but it looks like she's gonna make it.
Yeah.
She's like cracking jokes while they're lifting her onto a gurney. She's like, "This is the best place to get shot. Am I right?" And Tree is like, "Well, yeah, I guess so. Okay, bye." And they take her off to surgery, and Carter's there, and the lights flicker, so we know that like Ryan is activating Sissy. And this is like a touching moment, right? Like Carter obviously likes our Tree, likes her.
Mm.
And Tree has to tell him like the reason I'm going back is because of the other you. And something I haven't mentioned is that like throughout the movie, on many of these reset days, when he like finds out that they know each other and back where she comes from, he like gets excited. He's so happy that they know each other. Aw.
Yeah.
Aw, what a sweetie. He's even rooting for other Carter. As the machine activates, Carter and Tree share a like really beautiful kiss. Like the lights are exploding above them, and so it's all like sparkly. It's very Pinterest. Very cute. Yeah, so back at school, Ryan is activating the machine, and the dean and security finally make it into the lab, and they are approaching the machine, and it's clear that the dean is trying to unplug it again, and Dre has like wrapped her arms around the dean's leg, you know how like toddlers do to grown-ups. So he's like dragging her across the floor.
She's trying everything. She's
trying, man. And
without like physical violence of knocking him out, like putting her whole body weight in it.
Yeah, she's like a third
tiny.
His size.
Yeah. But she's so much effort there. I feel like that would end up being me in that situation. And I would just be dragged along. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'd like to think that I'd be trying hard, but I don't know her, and I don't.
You met her that
really
morning.
Believe that I built a time loop. Yeah,
if you think think
take a little
logically about
convincing.
it, but you need to just lean in with everything.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. I
Yeah.
should believe in whimsy.
Yeah.
I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm changing.
ABW, always believe whimsy.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a bracelet that says that. So I don't forget.
I'll get you a bracelet.
Oh, thank you.
I'll put some sprinkle dust, stardust, fairy dust, dust.
All
Some
of
dust.
those.
Gotta put that whimsy in there.
Yeah, so the leg thing works. Dre is able to keep the Dean away from the machine long enough for it to activate and do its job. And so it emits that giant pulse, and we snap back to that scene at the beginning of the movie where we had the two Ryans and they were activating the machine, trying to fix everything. And it's right after that energy pulse went off. So everybody has been scattered and thrown to the ground, and Tree wakes up. And she is back where she belongs with her Carter. And that is the end of the movie. There is a post-credit scene. Did you watch it?
What? Good thing I
There's a
bought
post-credit
it.
scene. Do you want me to describe it?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so the nerds and Tree and Carter have been like given community service to do for disobeying
okay.
the Dean. So they're all like they're out like picking up garbage, and then a bunch of G-men in black SUVs zoom up to the school and say that they need to take them in for questioning, and it's fucking DARPA. So they take them back to headquarters, and they have Sissy. They have her, and they want to study it, but they need the nerds' help. And the nerds are like, oh my God, but there are so many things that we'll need to study. Like there are so many different algorithms that it could be. And Tree is like, I think I can help with that. I memorized all your dumb quantum physics. So that was funny. And DARPA wants to trap somebody in a time loop in order to study it. And Carter, always pious, says, that's fucked up unless they really deserve it. And then Tree has an answer for that too. She's like, I have an idea. And then it cuts to that bitchy sorority sister waking up in bed screaming. So yeah, so maybe in the third one she gets trapped in a loop.
No, I need to go watch that. I had no idea. Wow.
I don't know how
Yeah, I don't ever consider post-credit scenes if they're not like a Marvel movie.
I never do, but for some reason, like I could feel it. For some reason, I was like, we got to stick this one out. We got to watch. We got to watch.
I'm so glad that you watched it.
Yeah, I
have something to look forward to.
Feel it. Yeah, I mean, you do got to watch the post credits. They're fun. Okay. It's goofy.
I'm excited about it.
It sort of made me think of the end of Cube. Like, oh, of course the government is involved.
Does that happen at the end of Cube? Or is that Cube Zero?
Yeah, it's Cube Zero.
Okay.
I mean,
guys.
Yeah, sorry. They talk about it in Cube, how the government must be involved somehow. And one of the guys walks out into, like, he escapes the cube, and he walks out into, I don't know, it looks like probably the government's going to be there.
I'm looking forward to watching it. Or we can do a live watching. I could pull it up right now and watch it, and you can hear my reaction. No, that would be terrible. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know if we talked about it at the top of the episode, though, but the how did we feel about it? I mean...
Oh, loved it. We talked about it a little, but yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't think I would consider it a horror movie, though.
No.
Definitely not. It has more of a sci-fi feel. I think that they compared it or talk about it being like Back to the Future 2.
Yeah. Yeah, they did another 80s movie bit. Ryan and Carter got really excited. They were like, oh, it's Back to the Future 2. And Tree is like, it's what? I don't know it. I didn't know Groundhog Day. I don't know Back to the Future.
Every time. She just is not educated. Obviously.
I did get get curious and went to look up the like timeline theories about Groundhog Day,
Oh.
and I think I had some facts wrong. So in the original script was going to be much darker. Like
Hmm.
Bill Murray in the original was going to be stuck there for 10,000 years. And he describes it as like hell in the original script. And they removed any like explicit references to timeline in the movie to try and keep it,
Hmm.
lighter, more fun. And they achieved that. Good job. And in subsequent interviews, Harold Ramis has said that he estimates 30 to 40 years in the movie that they actually made.
Jeez.
I know.
Jesus.
I know.
Oh my God.
I
I
don't
didn't think it
know.
was that long.
Yeah, it's so long.
Oh. Wow.
Not in this one though. In Happy Death Day, I think it's just a couple weeks. I think that they established
Yeah,
that.
for sure. But
Still.
man, I'm gonna have to rewatch Groundhog Day with that in mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
30 to 40 years stuck in the same day. I don't know what I would do.
I would be upset about the weather. I can't deal with weather being one way
Oh.
for too long.
And man, and that one's not even nice weather. He's in snow.
No, it's like, yeah. And it's not like a nice, like, it just snowed. It's so nice. It's like oh, well, I'm going to think about that a lot after this. Yeah, I'm probably going to think about that for a while. Whew. I don't know why I didn't think about it until you said that amount of time. Like, we watched Happy Death Day. I thought about Groundhog Day, and I watched Happy Death Day too, and I still, like, didn't think about the idea of having to live a day over and over. Because living a day over and over for a couple of weeks sounds, like, pretty doable, maybe fun.
I maybe wouldn't even notice, like every day is already the same.
Yeah.
How long do you think you could go?
Without noticing?
Yeah. How long do I think it would take me? Like, on a typical day, I don't leave the house.
Oh my God. Yeah, it might be a treat. Like, it might take me like 4 or 5 days.
I think it would take me a little bit.
Because I'd probably just be like, oh yeah, I see that guy on my walk.
I guess though, if I'm like,
why is
I
he
think
wearing
the
the same
murders
outfit?
would tip me off.
Nah, okay. Well,
Yeah, I think that I was thinking like Groundhog Day in a regular
where you're not
Groundhog Day
murdered.
situation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But in a Happy Death Day situation, yeah, I'll probably start thinking things through a little more.
Like, I know when I get to work, like, my meetings would be the same and what people would say would be the same. If it was like a Saturday and I didn't have to work.
Yeah. Oh God.
It would take me until Monday. Yeah, it would take me until Monday though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then I'd be like, well, why is nobody at work? But then I'd be like, it's a Saturday again. I'd be like, oh, okay.
What would you do? Let's say it's Groundhog Day style. Like, let's say it's Groundhog Day, not getting murdered style. What are you going to do with your time? I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm catching up on them Z's, my dude.
I'd probably eat.
Okay, yeah.
If I knew
good.
my day, everything would. When would it reset though? I'm trying to think of my acid reflux. Reflux, and when it would like start acting up. Like maybe I'd time it every time, and I'd be like, if I eat the French fries at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't feel it until
it's going to take a little bit of
day.
trial and error. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what I would do, is just trying to figure out that part. I want to think I would do something fun. Like, maybe I would go on a hike every day, a different hike every day.
Okay, yeah.
That would be fun. And then I would never feel sore. Because the next day would never come.
I don't know, because okay, yeah, we said Groundhog Day rules. Yeah, you'll never feel sore.
Yeah. Because did you think I was going to be like Tree, where my body would break down?
Yeah.
That would be kind of like, because then I was like, well, if I have the same day over and over again, maybe I do train for a marathon or something. And then the next day when I wake up, I would just completely freak Ryan out because I became the fastest woman alive.
Yeah, you bodybuild while you're stuck, and then
he's like, "What the fuck happened?" And I'm like, "I don't know." You've been in a coma for 3 years.
Wait, so okay, what if you're pregnant and you get stuck in a time loop?
Then you're just, you and the baby are in a time loop.
So baby's still growing?
No way. Is that, no. Wait. Oh, is that what happens at the beginning of Umbrella Academy?
Could not tell you.
Bunch of ladies get pregnant and have a baby within like a minute.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah. That seems like rough. How
This is better than 40 weeks.
Yeah. Well, you still live 40 weeks.
Or, oh my God, what if it's
leg?
worse? What if you're like 8.5 months pregnant and you get stuck in a time loop
and you have
for
to keep
40 years and you're just pregnant
at 8.5 months?
years? Yeah. Can you imagine that?
No.
Yeah. Sounds bad, right?
Oh.
Oh, no.
My back hurts.
Oh my God.
That's fine. It depends on the day. Maybe it's a good day. Maybe it's a good day.
Oh, no.
And if it's not a good day, you can make it a good day because it's going to be tomorrow too.
Ugh.
Ew. Maybe I should become a motivational speaker.
Yeah. Do it.
But only if you repeat the same day over and over again can I give you motivation.
Your whole
tomorrow is a different today.
Tomorrow is a different today. Yeah. I feel like we could make it like, I want to make it like longer and more convoluted. Like tomorrow is yesterday and also today, and today is tomorrow, but also today. And
tomorrow is a different today. But if today isn't your day, then tomorrow could be your day. That is today.
That is also today. Yeah.
What's with today?
Yeah, I think we've got a career building for you here.
Yeah, motivation. Motivate. Oh, I'm so low energy all the time lately. I don't know if motivation's really my strong point. Could I be a Tony Robbins? Just go out there and grind, guys. If it's something that you want, the only thing coming in between you and that thing is you.
It's Groundhog Day.
Capitalism.
Huh.
Sorry.
I agree.
It's just you. This is your fault. I'm preaching this at you as somebody who makes money by telling you you're worthless. So go out and do it.
I don't need to pay somebody to
Women suck.
I'm worthless. Huh.
Sorry. I don't know. What? I just assume that's how all motivational speakers are. Rise and grind, guys. Rise and grind.
I have a question about this movie.
I don't have an answer.
What do you think this did to Tree's life expectancy?
I hope she ended up fine. I like my hope is that the day that she lives the next day, her body is healed. I don't know why that would happen, but that's my hope. That was always my hope, is that her body would heal back to it. Otherwise, it has to be like 6 months maybe.
Yeah,
max.
Yeah, things are not good. Things are not good if oh boy, that's a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
She was so excited to jump into that wood chipper.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, you gotta look forward to it.
Get loose.
Yeah.
Stop looking at it as, oh no, this is gonna hurt. Start thinking of it as, oh, this is a new experience.
What is all the stuff you could learn if you were repeating the day? I guess you could just get really good. You could get really good at physics. You could solve a bunch of the world's problems if you just focused on them. But it would only be available with the information you have today. So you could become very, very smart in a subject. However, if, I don't know, like collaboration is so important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking of him playing the piano and learning how to play the piano.
Right.
I would probably learn fencing,
Okay,
why not?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it also depends on what town you're in, though, right? Like, like you can only go so far in a day.
That's true.
Or do you reset where you... No, she always wakes up in the bed. Okay.
Yeah. It's your birthday. Oh, one thing that I liked about this movie is that they did get the right... Because last time we talked about how they didn't get the rights to Indie Club.
Yeah.
But they did get the rights to You're Beautiful. You're Beautiful.
Oh.
It's true.
I don't even remember that in the movie.
Because it was Danielle's ringtone on Carter's phone. And he was like, she put it on. And I was watching it
That's
with
right.
Ryan, and the first thing he said, he was like, oh, but they got the rights to this one? This is the one that they wanted? And I was like, yeah, that's a good. But now I like the, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Pick
Can
up
I
the
make
phone.
that a ringtone?
Yeah, and does
Can you
it have
still
to
do
be your
ringtones?
ringtone only when it's your birthday?
And like, how do you do that? Can you schedule ringtones?
I mean, right now would be kind of a nice time to be stuck in a loop if you had access to the internet and instructional videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to learn how to fix a car, but can you do that?
Oh, okay.
Because, like,
What do
that's
you
a
mean?
multi-day thing.
Right, but
So, like, I'd fix the carburetor one day, and then, like, I'd still have to fix it the next day.
yeah, I guess you're not going to get to the state of a working car, but you could talk your way into like an apprenticeship somewhere and learn different parts on different cars.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know how convenient that would be. I feel like you would learn it all pretty quickly, or at least what that place at that time, at that one day, has to offer.
Well, then you can do both. You can learn sign language and cars.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I feel
You
like
got
it would
40
just
years,
be a
dude.
fun learning thing. Yeah, go rob a bank.
Oh.
Might as
Yeah.
well.
Let's
Yeah,
give it a shot.
yeah.
I
Peter
don't know.
Pan, this bitch.
Yeah, I guess I'd read.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd do some books.
Because you remember it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is like the Twilight Zone episode.
Catch up on TV. Yeah, but I've got 2015 vision, baby. Break my glasses. I don't care.
Oh. Huh. No, it's for me. It sounds better and better every.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds
I mean, I feel
fine.
like I don't know. My biggest stressor, I feel like, is work
Mhm.
and worrying about people. But if tomorrow never comes, then I don't have to worry about what happens to anybody the next
Yeah,
day
I'm
because
just chilling. I'm on easy.
I just
street
know
at that point.
everyone's doing okay.
Yep.
And if they're not, I guess I figure out how to help them in that day and that day only.
For the day.
I wonder
Yeah.
if this will change my perspective. No. My full-on perspective of life is this, if I had to live this day over and over again, how would I treat it?
Yeah, it's like
I would
the
slash
opposite
every
of-
tire on my street.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of live every day like it's your last. It's live every day like you got a
Like it never ends.
decade of them. I'm wasting it. I'm getting drunk. I'm causing a scene.
Sounds perfect.
I'm gonna get rowdy.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, we should all get a sign up for a repeatable day for at least like up to a year or something.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
that I'm equating it to like if you can do vacation for a while.
Yeah, take a sabbatical. This is my
Yeah.
gap year. This is my repeat year. This is my Groundhog Day year.
Exactly.
So, okay, that's another question I have is how many days do you think that we have relived, but our memories got reset because it was somebody else's time loop? Yeah. Do you think that those times that we've experienced deja vu, that was because somebody nearby was in a loop?
Maybe.
How
I
long
think
have we
that's the
been
only
here?
logical explanation for it.
How old is the universe?
Too young.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think deja vu is for sure explained by time
Time
loops.
loops. Mhm.
Yep.
We
Yep.
got to it. We got to it.
And next week we'll be talking about the Matrix. Yeah. Do we have anything? Do we have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been Happy Death Day 2. Next week we will be shooting the shit, and we don't have a topic for that episode yet. So come find out with us. We'll all be
We'll
surprised.
figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
wing it. And please remember to rate and review us in whatever podcast app you listen to us on, and also subscribe. For sure, subscribe and tell your friends. And come on back next week to shoot the shit. Happy spookies.
Happy spookies.